That's there, right?
Horrendous.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where when you were speaking about them, I was thinking, really? That's incredibly high. That really is. High. That's frightening.
So obviously homelessness really does affect a person's mental health.
It absolutely does. And I think one of the things that may be contributing to such high statistics is, of course, homelessness is not just sleeping rough. It can include sofa surfing, where you're just going from one person's sofa to another person's. It can even include living in a bed and breakfast or a hotel if you have no permanent residence. And it can be living with family when they have no room for you. And either way, whatever it is you're doing, it is so difficult to maintain a normal lifestyle, in that everything we take for granted, personal care, nutrition, just knowing that we can sleep a full night without being disturbed or without being in fear of perhaps an attack of our lives, those things aren't available. And all of that chaotic sort of surroundings can really play havoc with someone's mental health. Not only that, but of course the physical elements, the not being able to sleep, not necessarily being nourished properly, not knowing where your next meal may be coming from, not being able to stay in the same place night after night. All of that can affect us horrendously, because that just causes extra stress, which we're already feeling. And homelessness is one of those things where I think we can actually we can be a bit more compassionate, and we can be a bit more open to really being part of the solution. The whole problem for me with homelessness is that it is a choice, but you've got to look at it in the sense that if that is the better option, how horrible must the thing that you're leaving be? And whilst with normal mental health issues, I would generally say it's about empowerment, it's about finding the strength within. Homelessness can be seen as a choice to survive, but surviving in those conditions rather than what we would feel is a place to be with family, a place to be safe. But if that place isn't available to you,
what choice do you have?
And so I think sometimes with homelessness, it's about us sitting there saying, right, what can we do to help? Because at this point, the person who's living on the streets needs that. It's not about them finding the inner strength to carry on. They've already found that. That's why they're there. They're making that choice to survive. And it's very hard to know what to do, because, of course, there are mental health issues involved as well. Statistics would suggest that around 86% of people living on the streets do have a mental health problem. We don't know whether it's living on the streets has caused it, or whether the other way around. Of that 86%, they are often self-diagnosed. Only about 44% are diagnosed by professionals. But mental health issues do come into play. Ineffective self-medication comes into play, of course, as well. So drugs, alcohol, anything to make life feel better can be part of what someone's doing to cope. And so some of the things that I know are afraid of, and where the stigma comes in, is where we sit there and think, well, if I give someone money, what are they going to do with it? Or if I give someone, say, a coat or something like that, are they just going to sell it and then spend that on that form of self-medication? Some advice that we might be able to follow is giving time, chatting to somebody, maybe just being that friendly voice that they hear, that someone recognises that they're still worth talking to. That's important. It can be giving little things. Sometimes giving food can help, although if somebody does refuse food, it does mean they don't need it. So offer it, but don't then try and force it on someone. Sometimes giving food for the pet as well, because often people are living on the streets because their pet can't stay with them otherwise, so that's often very welcomed. And I have a wonderful app called Street Link. It's on my phone, and what you can do there is you can report somebody who is vulnerable, and you say the time you saw them, where you saw them, and it alerts the council. So that can be a good way of helping and getting them off the street that night.
That's brilliant. Audrey, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Good points there. And we'll see you again next time.
Yes.
Thank you.